Hello and welcome to Elizabeth's Craft Room. Today I'm going to share how to make this card. It's a 3D card and you can see there's a fish swimming in the middle of it. We're going to use the By the Tide stamp set. So let's get started with it. So you need 2 pieces of cardstock. This is an A4 piece cut in half and cut in half again at 10.5 centimetres, and then we're going to score. So we're going to score at 1/2 inch and then 1 inch, 1/2 inch, oops, I didn't do that in the right place, 1/2 inch and then 1 inch, and we're going to do that on both pieces. Now we've done the scores down the side, I'm going to bring the big shot in. Now I'm just going to reinforce those score lines, and I'm folding the first one down and the second one up, so we've got that sort of shape. I'm just reinforcing those first. It makes it nice and easy then to see where we're going to put our frame. Now I'm going to put the frame this time this way round. I did my sample one the other way round, but I've decided to go this way round for this one. And I'm going to put the top on, just laying that in place, and I'm going to run that through the big shot. Take that out. There's our frame. Now I want to actually put a bit of texture into this one, so I'm taking off my tab 2. And we're going to use the Fancy Fan folder. Try saying that 10 times fast. And I'm going to just run that through the big shot. Let me just get that lined up. I think this has got quite a kind of wavy sea type look to it, so I think that would will look quite nice on this project. And I'm just going to run that through. And that gives a very nice texture. And the reason I did those folds first and reinforced them is you wouldn't probably be able to see very well where the scores are. So it's best to kind of reinforce those first before you do the embossing. Okay, I'm happy with that. So now we've got our 2 pieces, and how the card actually fits together is with both of those folded, it's going to go like that. So we now need our image for the back, which we're going to stamp on a piece of Whisper White. This is measured at 3 3/4 inches by 4 inches. So you want it in the portrait sort of direction when you're doing the stamping. So I'm going to start off with Always Artichoke and this fern type image in the background, and then I'm going to do some shells. Now I'm going to do a technique on here called rock and roll technique, which is one you might well be aware of. A couple of my customers have asked me to remind them of this technique, particularly Lee. Hello Lee. So what you're going to do is you're going to ink up first of all. Now inking up with, this is Rose, Regal Rose, and I don't want it quite as bright as that, but I did want that tone. So I'm going to stamp that off, take some of the colour off, and then I'm going to roll round the edge of the image, and that is your rock and roll. And that way, when I stamp down, I've got both colours. I've got the pink there in the middle, and I've got the browny colour on the outside, which is soft suede. So we'll do that again. And I'm just going to put another shell on the bottom there. Okay, I'm going to use the same technique with the fish, and I'm going to do that one. I'm going to use the soft suede again, but this time I'm going to combine it with pumpkin pie. So I'm not stamping off this time because I want to have the full oranginess of the pumpkin pie. Roll round those edges, so you're just getting the soft suede ink around those edges. And there's the fish. So as I say, it's a nice way of getting 2 colours onto a project. Now I'm going to cut the fish out, but before I do that I'm going to just finish with some more stamping on here. I'm going to use the lovely text image that's on this stamp set and the little Nantucket sign. This is one of my more is more stampings, as you can see. Very pretty. Okay, so that's going to be my background. So I'm going to now glue that into the back of the card. Pop that down and get it straight. There we go. Now, to make my fish go across the middle, what I'm going to use is a piece of window sheet, which I have pre-cut. Here it is, easy to lose. This is our regular window sheet that's in the catalogue. It comes in 12 by 12 sheets, so you don't need very much of it. I've just cut this at 4.5 inches by 1/2 inch, and it's going to go right across the middle. I'll secure it with a little bit of snail on each end, just to hold it in place, although it's actually going to be the Tombow glue that I put down the side that's going to give it its real strength. So I'm going to pop that across, and that's where I'm going to put my fish. Now, so you don't have to watch me cutting out a fish, here's one I cut out earlier. Just a little bit of patience required to go round the little fin pieces at the top, and I'm going to put my fish on there, and I have used snail on there. You could use a glue dot, would be another way of sticking him on. And then I'm going to put some glue down the edges, and then pop the front piece on. Just line that up, and now you can see we have a 3D fish card. So I hope you've enjoyed today's project. Just a little note, you might be wondering how you're going to send this. If we didn't have the fish going through the middle, you can actually fold this type of box flat to go in the post, but we obviously don't want to do that. So I'm going to do another video and show you how to make the box, so come back soon for that.